That's better, isn't it? Yeah, that's better. So I'm gonna get right down to it here. This is part 3. Yeah. Obviously that didn't work out well. So I've already calibrated this mechanism to cycle. Your record mount, and you can turn it either way. Now you got little set screws here. There's 2 here that are visible, plus this one up here actually, and you got to adjust those. So when you trip the mechanism, as you can see, if you watch here, this piece, this little roller piece, will interlock into the sprocket, and then the mechanism will pass through. It'll bring up the arm here, starting, and to pick up the record. And this little piece no longer moves because now it's locked in place. There's a little bit of give there, which you want, because that will keep it from binding up. And so, as you can see, there's a plunger here too. And this plunger, what it does is it picks out a warped record. And so if the warped record hits the edge of the plunger, it won't move and it won't put the record in. Yeah, this one here, this piece, which has the roller which locks into the notch slot, the scan and play slot. And you got to adjust it so that this just passes when it's in the trip mode. This just passes the camshaft so it can move freely. It's rolling along. Now it's locking into this worm gear. Will now be in contact with the little piston that's in here. As this tension spring will pull that piston up, and now it's turning the worm gear. And this clamp up here is now clamped into the record. And so now it's locked into play mode. Now if you trip it again, then it will cycle again. It'll come out of the scan notch, so then it will go back through its cycle. You can hear things. There's the clamp coming off. There goes the record holder. You can hear rollers clicking in place. The plunger's going back in place. Now it's locked back into the scan mode. It's locked back into the notch in the camshaft there. So, that's how the cycling works. And this little piston is dropped down and hit the sprocket wheel again. It's hard to actually see it here, but it moves up and down as you cycle it. So if I hit this again and cycle it, you'll see it get pushed up. And then it will turn that worm gear. Now it's going through. Now it's in the play mode. And as you can see, the worm gear has stopped moving because it's now the piston has gone stationary. Now if you trip it again, it will be pulled back up into the worm gear, turn the camshaft, and then it controls everything from there. And then it drops back down into the sprocket. And a little clicking in there is down in here. There's a little plastic piece, you can see it flipping there. And that's going up into the little sprocket wheel. Tab for the timing switch, which you have to adjust once you have the unit record, once you have this mechanism into the unit. You have to line it up with the record slots so that the contacts are made when it passes the center of a record slot. This is what the timing contacts look like. These ones are pretty worn, you can see there's not much contact left in there. The one in there I was surprisingly not too bad, but when it scans twice, then this will shut off. These contacts are open currently, and one switch triggers these contacts, which starts the motor, and it starts its scan. And then it hits the end of this. So if I got two big batteries here, so I can actually activate these. If you get this far in, you want to sort of test all the relays and stuff. So you'll see it when I hit the contact here. It pulls it in. So that guy's good. Now, what happens is, when it scans, it comes back. There's once, contacts are still closed, so it scans again, comes back, and now they're open, so it turns off the machine. You also can test the trip solenoid here, which is this guy here, because you can automatically trip it yourself by pushing that lever. So if you do this, it's tripped it, and then it goes through its cycle. Now, here's a key note, is the head will flip between sides depending on which direction the motor is spinning. It'll either be forward or reverse. So as you can see, it's changing over to, is that A side or B side? I can't remember. But that's basically it. And then, as you can see, it's placed the needle down, and now it's playing. Beautiful. And then when there's a little reed switch here, and when this gets to the end, the reed switch activates, and then that mechanism trips. Then it goes through its cycle again, releases the kraken, the little brush cleans the needle, and then you're back in scan mode. Tricky calibration. Actually, I'll move it back. As you can see, I can push it back in. That's good. That means that it's properly calibrated. And so, everything's working on this, mechanical-wise. It's set to go. Anyways, that's pretty much everything for this video. And hope you guys enjoy this. Please subscribe, comment, tell me if I missed anything important while the camera trails off into Never Never Land. And see you next time. Tim Hortons. You can use our napkins to clean jukeboxes, apparently. What's that? Oh, hello there. So yeah. Can't hold this camera still for shit. Hold the razor. Oh!